Did you know that there's a lot of crossover between Alexander the Great and Cleopatra? Um, it's not something that I would have expected, but now it makes sense now that I know it. Um, of course, Alexander the Great was a great conqueror, um, and then he died um, at a pretty young age, and they originally buried him in Memphis, um, and then took him to his city um, that he had created called Alexandria. Um, it still exists on the coast of Egypt. Well, I should say in Egypt, on the coast of the Mediterranean. Um, except it's a little different now because what was his city is now basically underground, even multiple layers deep, and there's skyscrapers on top of it. And there's a reason why that's important that we'll come back to in a second. But after Alexander the Great died, then his generals basically split up his territories, and one of them, named Ptolemy, took Egypt. And fast forward a lot of generations, and you get to Cleopatra, who is part of that reign, um, part of that dynasty, which is pretty interesting that she has such Alexander the Great leads to Cleopatra being um, queen slash pharaoh of Egypt. Um, the other crossover is that, well, as far as we know, they're both buried in Alexandria, and neither has been found. Um, and the reason for that is largely because of the city built on top of it. There's very few places that can be excavated, and the ones that can have lots of logistical issues. But yeah, hopefully, we I should say archaeologists do have some good direction, and it is very possible that one or both will be found in the coming decades, which would be remarkable.